Welcome back to Midday. We are talking literacy with, I'm going to call you the expert, Fiona, because you're such an expert at really getting people to get out there and read and bringing attention to how important literacy is. We also have Kathy Conway joining us from Interior Savings, because we're talking about the Interior Savings Unplug and Play Week, which is quickly approaching. So thank you both for being here.
Thank you.
Fiona, tell us about Unplug and Play.
Okay, so
right off the bat, let's
right
get
off the bat.
into it.
Well, our goal, we're celebrating family literacy, which is families learning together, doing things together. That there's nothing that replaces the face-to-face. And we sort of realized that, in the day that we're living with technology, we're spending a lot of time on screen, and so we need to unplug and to promote literacy. And so that's how we came up with the Unplug and Play. And we have a whole week of the City of Kamloops and different organizations hosting free activities and events for families to enjoy together and participate in.
Fantastic. And Kathy, just from Interior Savings point of view, I mean, this is obviously an important thing to support.
It is. We focus on investing locally to help create vibrant communities, and what a better way than to see families out doing things together and away from that screen time. Yeah. Problem solving, decision making, all those aspects are so important to building a strong community.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell us a little bit about the week that you have planned then, Fiona.
Yes, so, actually on the way over here, I was thinking about if you think back to your childhood and, what are your favorite memories? And it's always the times that you spent with your family doing things together.
It is, you're right.
It really is. I remember climbing mountains and, going to the beach. And those are the things that you really remember fondly. And so we have got some wonderful things, starting off with, well, tomorrow night is Bring a Book to the Blazers game. Okay. Bring a children's book. And we'll have the Cat in the Hat and thing one and thing two. And ABC Day, of course, is a big favorite on Saturday morning at the Henry Group, and that's more geared for the younger children. And then in the afternoon we have a new event, and I know Tamara was on yesterday, the Word Walk Unplugged at Aberdeen Mall.
That was fun. Yeah, that's going to be great.
So we're really hoping that's going to engage the sort of older children and teens, because that's kind of a hard group to engage. We know how much they enjoy it.
Well, what teenager have you seen without a cell phone or an iPad or whatever it might be, a screen in front of them, right? Yeah.
And then just carrying on throughout the week, we have the scheduled events as you saw on the screen, and you can also get it on Literacy in Kamloops on our Facebook page. But there's lots of physical activities as well, active tots and explore sports and swimming and skating and yoga. And then there's sort of music, drumming and ukulele workshops. And actually this year at Kamloops Makerspace, we were just down there, and it's such a cool place, and you can go and do woodworking or leather crafting or embroidery in the afternoon, and everything is free. The library's doing some really cool things, Boys and Girls Club, family dance, so there's just tons of activities that will appeal to all ages.
There's Bill O'Donovan, everybody. Just let's point that out for a moment. Bill and his lovely granddaughter, Riley. So Bill is going to be reading a story, as he always does, right?
And actually emceeing the event, the
fantastic.
ABC Day, and he's just so great, and I'm sure he'll be reading a story. And there's Fat Cat from the Interior Savings. That little girl just loved him last year.
Oh, it's such a great event.
Yeah, there's so many things. The Y's doing a glow swim, and and Clinton W. Gray is doing a free magic show on the Friday night, which I think is already sold out. But keep checking, because we might add more seats. So there's just there's no shortage of activities, as I said, for all ages. And we're just hoping, we actually have 7,900 elementary students going to challenge themselves during the week to reduce their screen time. So there's going to be pressure on parents as well to reduce their screen time.
Well, that's another thing I was just going to talk about a little bit. It's not, we're putting so much emphasis on children and teenagers or youth, but it's really about us as well.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm guilty of it. Yeah. And I have little guys and a little girl at home, and you can just see them. They just watch you, and then they take your phone, and they know what to do, and you're like, oh gosh, I have to stop, put your phone down. Yeah,
and it's so true. I mean, we're role models for our kids, but even if you're out for dinner with friends, I mean, how many times do people check their phone or want to find out what's going on? Just enjoy the time that you have together to learn more about each other and what's happening in everyone's lives.
Yeah, it's interesting. Unplug and Play, as you mentioned, you've been doing it for a while, but it's almost like it's more important now, or taking on a different meaning.
I think so. Well, because, just of how quickly it's evolving, the use of it. And a study actually was just released in the UK in January children are estimating they're spending 7.5 hours a day on screen. So between computer, their phones, and because they're using them for education, entertainment, and communication. And you can take them everywhere, right? So as you said, that being present in the moment is a huge thing now. The mindfulness and that face-to-face. The big thing they're saying with screen time is it's not necessarily the screen time in itself that is harmful, obviously depending on what they're doing on it.
For sure.
But it's all the activities that it displaces. So if you're spending 7.5 hours on screen, you're obviously spending less time being active, less time face-to-face socializing, and sleep is a huge thing.
I know.
And I think we realize that technology is an important part of our life.
It is, yes.
And this is really about balance. And that's what we're asking people to not make it all about screen time. What else can you do in your life?
And just test it out. Test it, do it for a week and see if you see how you feel at the end of it, and that it might sort of lead to different habits after that, right?
Well, we've had feedback because the children actually get a chance to reflect on how what the experience was like for them, and we've had some interesting comments. Parents have noticed a difference in behavior in their children.
Oh, that's good.
Even the kids have felt more, said that their family was more cheerful. And they just enjoyed spending more time outside, because that's another thing we don't do when we're on screen. And the cool thing about this week, thanks to the sponsorship from Interior Savings, is that Barrier, Chase and Clearwater are all doing their own Unplug and Play events as well.
Wonderful.
During the week.
Well, we look forward to it. Thank you, ladies, for joining us. Unplug and Play Week.
Thank
There's
you.
the information on the screen. And, of course, you can visit the website. We're back in 2 minutes on Midday. Stay with us.